Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Hey.
Welcome back to another episode of Journey Through Darkside. I'm Daniel.
I'm Simon.
And yes, this week, what are we going to be discussing?
Buried Alive. Excuse me, let me do this properly. In Your House 11, Buried Alive. From Indianapolis, Indiana, Market Square Arena, on October the 20th, 1996. Just 4 days. 4 days before my... I can't do math right now. 14th birthday.
14th birthday, there it is.
Sorry.
Hell yeah.
Man, they know too much about me.
That's it now.
Oh man, it's been a rough week, guys. Sorry.
We also say too, this is actually in our backyard as well. We're Indiana boys here, and yeah, it's Indianapolis. I mean, it's a little drive away, but still.
My dad attended this pay-per-view.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Didn't take you guys with him?
No, not 4 days before my birthday.
He was like,
4 days before my birthday.
got shit to do, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about you.
And they could have used me so, you want to guess this attendance?
Oh, man, Indianapolis though. Fuck. Okay.
Somewhat of a big
We'll
wrestling
say
city.
11,000.
Oh man, you went over this time.
Oh, god damn it. I was going to say 9,000 again, but I said 9,000 last time. 11,000.
96.49.
96.
I mean, not small.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely almost 6,000 down from the last one.
Well, I remember the last time we did Indianapolis, I want to say it was WrestleMania 2, and I just remember like that crowd.
It was probably WrestleMania 8.
Or that's what I say, yeah, 8 too.
They look
remember
alike,
Taker
yeah.
fighting back in 86.
Yeah.
Anyways, but no, I remember that crowd wasn't like small, but it was definitely smaller than a WrestleMania crowd, especially when it was business was good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, actually, I was thinking that was a pretty big crowd. That was at the Hoosier Dome.
yeah, Hoosier Dome. It wasn't. I don't think it wasn't super or anything, but we figured it out. What was the main event? Oh wait, this was the main event. Oh, I forgot about that. We are literally in the main event. The main event.
The main event.
Lost track. Literally couldn't think of the name of the match, and I was like, we're at Buried Alive. What was the match that was featured in this thing? The match was a Buried Alive match. Mankind, with Paul Bearer in his corner, going up against the Undertaker. The build-up throughout...
That's a small crowd. 62,167
Never
people.
mind, I stand corrected.
In
God
1992.
damn.
Sorry guys, this is how we roll.
They know at this point. They know. They've come to love our corporate charm. That's small crowd. Yeah, it's nobody there. I bet that was actually inflated. We know Vince liked to inflate the numbers.
Yeah, there's really like
93,000. It was like 7 people in the crowd.
Yeah.
It literally is performance center type shit. And they're like, 62,000.
In a way, I was waiting for the attendance for this year's WrestleMania to come out and say 15 people, just almost as a joke.
Yeah, I feel like
that'd be like a self-aware.
That'd be the guy I would do. Like I would do that kind of shit. Like, oh yeah, guess what? But anyways, so the build-up we've been following for a while now, and of course this has been raging since the summer. We're into the fall now, but literally Taker and Mankind have been fighting in numerous types of matches. The Boiler Room Brawl, regular matches. They've interfered in each other's matches. It's just
Mankind stole his manager.
Dude, Paul, what was
his only friend?
No, what was I know he had to have given an explanation, but what was the reason? What did Paul Bearer say? I have never saw that.
I don't know.
I have no idea. I'm sure it was just I'm tired of dragging you around or whatever it was.
There had to have been a Raw or something.
Yeah, I'm sure there was. I couldn't imagine he just came out and was like, you guys want to know what happened? So do I. Yeah, going on, and then it's like, I never. It was the same thing when he showed up because I never saw the episode where Brother Love was like, I'm gonna give the contract to this guy. And I never saw that, so it's just I don't know. It's funny.
Well,
Paul Bearer.
I've seen that.
Have you? I haven't.
Yeah,
so I've never.
What's your name, Brother Bearer? And he's like, Paul. Paul Bearer.
So yeah. So I missed out on both the explanations or the storylines transitions.
Put it down there.
Down here,
if you know.
So yeah, absolutely. The one thing I remember about this was that when they was building up the match was we would see a lot of vignettes in the graveyard, and I believe they even show some on the pay-per-view too, where Mankind is sitting there, and this is one time Mankind's showing some fear because before Mankind's just crazy and nuts, doesn't give a fuck. He'll take the battle to Taker, and now when he realizes that you may be buried alive, he's not liking that too much. It's not his thing, not his bag.
Not a fan.
No, and so they did it. And the thing was, they at the last pay-per-view, I forgot to mention this too, during the Mind Games, they were talking about how the match was already set then. They already announced they were going to be doing a Buried Alive match, and they said it was going to be unsanctioned, which I always hated WWF doing their unsanctioned matches because, like with WCW or NWA or whatever, they would always kind of change it up. They would always, they'd either do like pay-per-view's over, guys, we're out of here. But stick around if you want to see this unsanctioned.
Yeah.
And even like the referees would look a little bit different. Like they weren't, like, because when officially.
Yeah.
And WWF never did that. I always hated that. Triple H and Shawn Michaels fought an unsanctioned match at SummerSlam back in like 04, 05, or 03 maybe.
Yeah, they don't do anything to make it.
Yeah, it's just like, it's regular business as usual. And I always feel like they should really use something. Whether if you turn the house lights up way bright, because now it's like, well, we're not going to do special lighting, guys. We're done. Like, WWF's out of here.
No entrances, no pyro.
Exactly. Yeah, no logo. Like, literally, you make sure this is not affiliated with WWF. Get out there. And it's just like, there was nothing different about this at all.
Recently, and I think it was still when we had crowds, but this year AEW did it, or maybe it been last year anyways, but Moxley and Kenny Omega maybe.
Yeah.
They did like an unsanctioned match.
Yeah.
And basically what happened was, here's your main event, blah, 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 that happened.
Yeah.
And it was like, ladies and gentlemen, the following match is unsanctioned, and blah, blah, blah. Then they made the big announcement, and then it was just nothing. I mean, everything was the same. Everybody got their full entrances and pyro and everything else.
And I do hate that. Like I say, I feel like...
The commentary, see? No commentary.
I agree. And
I know that would suck.
Well, what I would do is, I would be like, all right, we're out of here, and then literally you could have someone like pirate it or take over the thing or whatever the case may be, or even just bring something to, like, where, like, McMahon's like, all right, I'm out of here, guys. And then, like, Lawler and someone else would be like, well, guys, guess what? Guess what, guys? You know what? I feel like we need to talk about this match. This is an epic part of, wrestling history.
Yeah.
And even though I'm not getting paid for this, better put that over here. I don't know what the hell that was about. Even though, literally...
There's two phones over here. Damn.
I said Jerry Lawler, and Lawler popped up on the thing over here. Anyways, literally, you can be like, listen, I'm not going to get paid for this, performance, but this needs to be documented.
Yeah.
You could have done anything, and it was just, it's part of the match. Once again, it's the main event of your night, even though it's unsanctioned.
Yeah.
So anyways, the rules are, they got a huge mound of dirt in a little makeshift graveyard at the entranceway. You must incapacitate your opponent enough to put him in that hole, and then you must cover him with dirt. And once he's officially buried alive, the match ends. And so that is, and honestly, and it's funny because
pretty clear-cut rules here.
Absolutely, exactly, yeah. There is no, none of that. No, we know exactly how to win it. There's no referee counting out, DQs or anything like that. No, none of that shit. It's funny because Cornette, I was listening to him in preparation for this video, and he was talking about how he was actually a part of this, the setup, everything, the ending too. And it's just funny because he's just like, in his voice, you can just tell he's just like, I know I always rip on them for doing cartoony shit because I was in the room and it just felt right at the time. I'm just like, it's funny how he'll give himself the pass, but then like everything else he'll just shit on.
Yeah.
But anyway, I guess he was, him and Pritchard was both pretty heavily involved with the booking and just the setup and the layout of this match. So I thought that was kind of interesting because like Cornette's, we all know Cornette, we all know Uncle Corny, so he gets a little. We get too cartoony, get away from sports. But to me, I like this.
It doesn't seem so.
Well,
it's
to
gimmicky,
me,
but
it's gimmicky. But to me, it's a natural progression because I feel like this feud, which at this point Taker has never had a feud like this.
And they should have did Buried Alive first.
But this feud, it was literally like this has gone on much further than everything else. And we've already did the Boiler Room Brawl, and I feel like a regular casket match would not suffice. So what is your next line? When you put him in a casket, what do? You bury him, and so I feel like
it's almost as if that was probably brought up.
Yeah. We just did it with Gold Dust, and that was kind of a botch, and we ripped the thing off, and we're like, no, buried alive. And honestly, I'm okay with that. Even now, looking back, and even if I'm trying to put my kayfabe glasses on, and this is still a sports thing, it's like, I would love to see one UFC fight. What's an old feud? Like Shamrock and Ortiz, right? Those guys have feuded forever. They fucking hate each other. If literally they're like, I can't do this. We have fought 20 times. We can't pick an actual winner. Buried alive.
I'm gonna bury you.
I'm gonna bury you. I'm gonna literally bury you this time. And Dana White's like, we'll have to go to international waters. We can't do this out here. I'll tell you what, we got an island over in South Pacific. We'll go out there. We're gonna go condemned on this shit. And we'll have the octagon here. And then right next to it, we're going to have a great... Dana White, please do this. I will watch UFC if this... I would love to see that fight. Boxing. Two big boxers are like, you know what? I'm fucking... Holyfield and Tyson, he's like, you bit my fucking ear, asshole. I'm still pissed about that. 97, fuck that, I don't care. 2020, I'm going to bury your ass alive. boxing ring, the rules are the same, but when you knock the guy out, you gotta drag him outside. I want to see buried alive in every sport now. NASCAR, I don't give a fuck. It's just like you go around. Once you get your final lap, you get out. You gotta grab the other guy, drag him over to
like all of them.
Every sport. Any sport. Yeah, that one.
All the drivers,
like Taker said, 29 holes, 29 souls. I'll put them all down. Yes, everybody. Yes, King of the Hill, buried alive. God damn it. Make me commissioner of every sport out there. Football, basketball, Anyway, so I was always down for this stipulation. I liked it. I thought, to me, the natural. And I said, I'm a gimmick guy. In fact, more gimmicky the better. I've always been that way. I love the Boiler Room Brawl. I love the casket matches. Unfortunately, when they try to go gimmicky, but they're just spinoffs of the No Holds Barred match, I don't like them as much. We had the Rest in Peace match with Giant Gonzalez, which was basically just a standard match. They used a chair a couple times. And then we had last week the Final Curtain match, which was, we had some golden glittery dust in there, but that was about it.
Yeah.
But you give me some crazy. Of course, we're going to see as the years go on. We're going to have the Cell upcoming, next year and everything else. So I'm always a fan of those type of matches. And even today we had the Boneyard match, and I mean, epic. Fucking epic. So, anyways, the match gets started, and these guys fight it out in the ring. And this thing, it kicks up the high gear immediately. And this thing, they're brawling over the place. I do like, and once again, I can see, I saw online, I was reading some reviews who other people kind of thought, their 2 cents about it. And people were complaining that, too long, or they kept teasing, going there, going back, going there, going. And I'm like, what do you want though? Like, I feel like you can only do so much there, and I feel like I like the tease of it, like shit. Cause I feel like if I'm Mankind, especially, man, I take it, bro. I'm Mankind, and you're dragging me up there, I'm gonna be like, dick shot, and I'll be like, nope, running back to the ring. I'm gonna get as far away from that as possible because I don't want to be put in a hole. So why would I be trying? And I feel like I don't know. I liked it. I thought this match
had some length to it. It was one of the matches that didn't
feel that way at all. I do love the different spots. I love that there's a spot where Taker throws out a small package on the mound, and then they roll down the hill together, and I'm just like, yes. And I just feel like this is one of those things where I feel like, you get 2 serious wrestlers. This is the biggest feud in wrestling today, and you're just like, hey, can we do a spot out there where I throw you in a small package and we just roll down the hill together? It'll be fun. And the guy's like, yeah, let's do it.
And Corny goes, God damn!
Lightning and being buried alive, I'm okay with that. But roll down the hill, grow up.
That's bullshit.
So,
in Undertaker's face.
Yeah, he isn't here. Fuck my wife and I'll jack off the corner. Anyways, hey, shit, throwing shade. Anyways, so, regardless, but no, this match, hardcore out the ass, weapons, shovels, dude, using shovels like a motherfucker in this thing.
They're really good shovels.
Yeah.
We'll get to it in a little bit.
Yeah, that one's even crazier.
Yeah.
So I guess before we start wrapping this thing up, is there any highlights from this match that you remember? Really? Once again, they hardcore fight the entire time, but it is kind of, the ending's what you got to talk about. Like, that's when you think about Buried Alive, it really is the ending. So anything else you can think of before I jump ahead?
I liked this a lot.
Oh yeah, no, it's fucking awesome.
And I watched this live because my dad went without me, so
Your consolation prize, like, well,
we all go to Grandpa's house to watch it on
check it out.
But my memories of it are fuzzy from that time. But but I do remember being excited about this match.
Well,
seeing the packages that they were playing, and it's like and thinking, what's this going to look like?
See,
how are you going
the anticipation? Yes, because I remember that with a lot of matches.
Indoors? Is it going to be outdoors?
Whether it was the casket match, the Buried Alive match, Hell in a Cell. When you first hear these, before you've ever seen one, your mind's like, oh my god, what is it going to be like? And yeah, I remember Buried Alive thinking like, are they going to go to the actual cemetery?
Yeah.
Like, what's it going to be like? Like, I had no idea.
Because they did all the, like you said, they did all the
vignettes
and stuff.
For all the graveyards. So,
but this is one match that because I could say that hopefully not a lot of people, but people were probably, when they said Final Curtain match, people were like, man, what's that going to be?
Yeah, I was.
What's that going to be? Wow, that could be cool.
Yeah.
This motherfucker delivered.
Yeah, this one definitely did.
Same with Hell in a Cell. There's been so many but there's been gimmick matches too. You're like, that's what that. Okay.
Firefly Funhouse. No, what was that one? The Wyatt Compound, the House of Horrors.
No,
House of Horrors.
You mentioned the worst one.
I love that one. Anyways, but no, you're right.
This match delivered.
No, it definitely does.
Everything. It And like I said, I don't know who would be mad that they went back and forth.
See, like I said, my preparation for these is always the same thing. I would watch the match first. I do a little bit of research on Wikipedia just to kind of get some background or whatever, and then I'll usually
I started doing that. I was like, nah.
And then I go on YouTube. I usually go to either Pritchard, Cornette, or if I can find someone else.
Shoot stories.
Yeah, and see what get some behind the scenes. There's actually a pretty funny one on this one too. And then I'll usually just type into Google In Your House 11 Buried Alive reviews, and I usually top 3. And I won't read the whole thing, but I'll just skim through and be like, okay, well, what do you think about the particular match or their final thoughts on pay-per-view, and just see what the top 3, and and that's usually that's the amount of research. I always joke we do no research on this show, but I actually do a little bit whenever I try to get into it. And no, this match was, like I said, I thought it was great, and like I said, not just trying to dismiss it let's get to the end, because the end really is there's more story. But here it was just a good old-fashioned hardcore match. It was just there's chairs and stairs. At one point, dude, he throws him in and hits him right in the back of the fucking head, the actual stairs and everything. It's we didn't get a whole lot of stair spots back in the day, so it was really cool to see that.
Well, when we did, Foley was usually involved.
Exactly.
He loved that stair spot.
Yeah, no, literally, these guys brawled all over the fucking place. But we get to the end, and what happens is they battle up to the mound, and eventually Taker is able to chokeslam him into the grave, and he's got to bury him. Now, Pritchard talks about how the funny thing about it is that was the rule. You had to bury him alive. When you see a movie, it's okay. And then they throw a few things, and guess what? The guy is now buried. When you get a big man in a giant 6-foot, and they put him down, it's about 6 feet. It really was and maybe 4 feet or whatever, but it's still big hole. He starts digging, it's quite clear right off the bat that it's going to take a minute to cover him with dirt to begin with. And you can even see they take the camera off of Mankind, and he does it a couple times, and the referees are finally close enough. So
I was saying, because he wasn't really,
Yeah. Which, to me, I feel like that would have to be the rule anyway. I feel like if I was the, UFC or boxing buried alive match, it would be cover your opponent with a fine layer of dirt. I'll say 3 shovelfuls will constitute it. So anyways, Taker does it. But the bell rings. He's not done. He's like, nope, I said I'm going to bury him alive. Yep. And now the referee's trying to stop it. And, dude, he throws the referee off the fucking mound. And I love it, dude. I was like, holy shit, the referee did a ref bump off the mound. Awesome. So as he's burying...
By the way, as you'll see in later buried alive matches, I do think they started incorporating a backhoe.
Yes, for this very reason. For this very reason. And so as he's trying to bury him alive, out comes a mysterious wrestler. The Executioner!
Oh, man.
Wallops him with the goddamn shovel.
Now, I don't know if it was gimmicked or what. Don't care. That was it.
No, I will say, even if it was fake, it's that had to hurt anyway. It's plastic toy shovel.
It looked cool as
dude, it looked cool, but that sound was sickening. You're oh, fuck. If he didn't have a concussion after that, I don't know. Executioner hits him. Now, for those who don't know, Executioner was Bam Bam Terry Gordy, former Freebird, and he was a mainstay at World Class Championship Wrestling in Texas. But then, of course, he was more frequently in Japan and had a few stints in WCW as well. Now, the Executioner, I didn't know this. I don't know who Terry Gordy was, especially at this stage.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm literally watching this, because once again, I was a tape collector, or if I didn't collect the tapes, I had my uncle tape them off for me. I had my own pro wrestling library.
Yeah.
So when the Executioner shows up, I'm thinking it's the same Executioner from WrestleMania 1 who fought Tito Santana. Now that was Playboy Buddy Rose, but I don't know that. So whenever I see that, I'm like, holy shit, that's the Executioner. I was like, he got big, he got buff, and I was like, holy shit, he got bulked up. But then it made sense. I was like, okay, because he came to WrestleMania 1, he sucked, got his ass whooped by Tito Santana. He went away for a long time. He had to get better.
He worked out for 10 years.
He worked out for 10 years, and guess what? Now he's back. And so, I'm not making this up. I really thought that was the same Executioner, because I was like, I didn't know.
Why wouldn't you?
Well, yeah. I didn't realize that, and I realized years later that Executioner was kind of a generic, because you always hear about a Mr. X. And that was just a generic term they would use for mass jobbers to go out there. I didn't know that. So whenever I heard a Mr. X, I was like, wow, this guy gets around quite a bit. He's in all these indie promotions. This guy's the indie guy. It's no, it's 30 different guys in different masks.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And I'm sure all major companies have probably had an Executioner.
Oh yeah, no, that's Executioner, same thing. It's just a generic term. In fact, and I may be wrong on the guy, so if I am, correct me, but I think Killer Kowalski and Big John Studd, or maybe his name Old Call, but either way, Big John Studd and somebody was the Executioners in WWF way back in the day, and they were actually tag team champions. So I didn't know that, but I would have been like, maybe this is the brother of the Execution. They were tag champion before, and now he's back. You know, I can say I was super excited to see the Executioner come back for whatever reason. Now, I can't explain it because he doesn't do a whole lot at all, but as a kid, thinking like, his redemption. It's his redemption. He lost the Tito. He jobbed out the Tito Santana, and now he's back. So Executioner comes out, breaks the shovel over his head. They get Mankind out of the hole, and they dump Taker into the hole, and they start to bury him alive. Now, we already broke one shovel, so Executioner has one shovel. Mankind is frankly just trying to bury him like that. At this point, Bruce Pritchard and Cornette are backstage watching, and they're going, we got a whole thing, planned for the buried alive part. We got to fill it up. What are we going to do? And so that was always the plan. These two will be buried alive. Paul Bear's barking orders, and they're like, this is going to take all goddamn night. So
I kept thinking that too, like, they're filling the entire hole up, aren't they?
They go through the brim with it. And so what they do is they quickly grab every hill that was available at the time and say, get out there. Now when Goldust runs out there, kayfabe, that makes sense. They've been feuding. He's also, even though at this point they're not hanging out, that's still your friend. Like, even if you don't talk to your friend in a while, it's like, hey, Mankind, you need some help with this? I'll help you dig a hole.
Yeah.
The only one that didn't make sense to me was Triple H, because Hunter Hearst Helmsley, I just made sense in my head. Because I was going to say, he's not the guy who's going to get dirty at this point. You know what I mean? He's the aristocratic blue blood. But at the same time, at Survivor Series 95, he was the victim of that tombstone. So you know what? He's like, yeah, fuck it. I can bury him alive. And it's like, okay, never mind. Makes sense. Kayfabe makes sense. Pull through. And then Justin Hawk Bradshaw. And I'm thinking, where the hell's Stone Cold at? Because, like, he's a heel 96. It's like, but apparently he was like, I'm already in the shower, guys. I ain't getting back out there. Either way, these guys are burying Taker alive.
He had already cut the promo. Yeah. He was already on his
done.
way.
He's out of there. Hart family's not out there either, but I guess it is what it is. But anyways, so these five are burying him alive, and it's still taking for fucking ever. Yep. And it's just like, holy shit.
And they got to be back there watching the clock.
Yeah.
Man, they're going to pull it. They're going to pull it.
They're taking point, they're going to pull it off. And so,
Girls Gone Wild is...
Now, I will say, the crowd never really dies for this, though. They are still booing and now they're starting to throw debris. Oh, yeah. At one point, like, there's like a cup or something inside the thing, and I'm just like, or a can. I was like, that's great. So finally, we get that goddamn thing put up, and then you start hearing the thunder.
Yeah, you think our episodes of this are long? Just watch the.
Yeah, that segment alone. Just that segment alone. Like, the match itself is pretty lengthy, but then you get that segment, you're like, holy shit, this is gonna take a while. The thunder starts coming up. At this point, anybody who's not part of the main angle gets the fuck out of there. Like, oh shit, thunder, I'm out of here, and they bail. They saw Royal Rumble 94. They don't want to be a part of that shit. Yeah, so they're like, we're out of here. So as the road crew remain behind, starts thundering, the lights start cutting out. You start hearing the gong, and as they start backing away, lightning strikes the tombstone. Bam! And then the hand comes up through the dirt. Actually, it went through the dirt. It comes through the grassy part in front of there. So you can tell Taker got in the hole and then went through that little trap door and got himself in there. They buried up nothing, and then he was like, hurry up, guys.
Yeah, he's laying back there going, okay,
this is ridiculous. And they're like, wait till lightning strikes. He's like, that should have been struck like 10 minutes ago. What the fuck? But his hand comes up for a really cool visual as we go off the air. New wrinkle, a new adversary that we throw in there. Now, we will find out later that it's implied that Paul Bear probably hired this guy. Now, for me to do the behind the kayfabe thing, why would he hire, and why would Terry Gordy care and put himself in a mask? Like, you're Terry Gordy, you're Bam Bam Terry Gordy, you're like one of the baddest dudes ever.
Well, I was going to say, that in true Vince fashion, like, oh, you're one of the most well-known wrestlers.
Yeah.
But never worked for me.
Yeah, they don't know who you are.
I'll just throw a mask on you and yeah.
So it's totally different. I look at it at this point. Paul Bear,
he probably could have made that work if he gave it his all.
If he would have given his all, he didn't give his all. You can tell he didn't give his all, and we'll get to that later. But anyways, no. So Paul Bear, we'll find out not so much in these upcoming things, but in '97 especially when Taker will eventually win his world title and he starts having Mankind and Vader challenge for it. He's all about the money. Like, he turns into a totally different type of guy. Like, almost like this whole dark, creepy stuff with just a front. He's like, no, I'm all about the money. Like, I'm a manager first. I got my cut, and
isn't that kind of a cheesy like heel promo? Like,
oh, absolutely.
Hogan made it work with the NWO.
Yeah.
There's been so many like when somebody makes a heel turn.
Well,
Why? It's always the money, babe. The money, baby.
I feel like with Hogan, it made sense because it was like it really was his personality though. Like it shined through more. Whereas with Paul Bearer, not so much.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like we'll give it to him because at the same time, it's like, why are you competing then? Like everybody's competing for that paycheck for the gold. I get it. If you're a manager, you're getting the cut of it. You're getting the 10% or 15% of what we're doing worked out with it, for the guy. So anyways, I can see him at this point. Goldust didn't work out. Taker's back, and Taker is now in pretty solid form where now it's like, shit, Taker's going to be able to take out Mankind and get his way to me. I can't let that happen. So now he's got to go outside and hire. He went after somebody like Terry Gordy. Now, my math or my timelines may be mixed up here, but I'm going to assume they're both from Texas.
So you're behind the kayfabe thing is not that Paul Bearer went and hired an executioner.
No.
He literally got Terry Gordy.
He got the best. He got the best he could afford.
With his mask on.
Yes. And he goes, and I feel like here's what he did was he went somewhere and he found someone who maybe, A, is a big hoss, but B, maybe knows Taker a little bit, maybe not personally, but maybe he's worked with him. If they're both from Texas, and Taker probably got to start in Texas.
Did they never cross paths?
Yeah, I don't know. As far as mainstream wrestling goes, no. But as far as indies or world class, I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
But maybe that was what he's thinking. He's like, well, shit. You remember Taker? Remember Mean Mark Callis? I got trouble with him. I need your help. In '90, when Taker was Mean Mark, the Freebirds were coming back. There may have been some interaction in the hallway there. We don't know.
Why do you? When I said I didn't think this.
Yeah.
They
an angle or something like that. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I can't remember.
In the company.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. I can't remember how long Taker was in WCW or NWA, and then from that point, when Terry Gordy came back, if they had some overlap or not. For the sake of this, we're gonna say possibly. And so, but Terry Gordy was like, but Paul Bearer's like, listen, I'm hiring you. You're a hired gun. But listen, I need you to take this guy out. He's like, he's gonna research you. That's what Taker does. I've been his manager for 6 years plus. I've known him his whole life. He's like, fuck his mom. We find out later on. So he's like, I've known him for a long time. So we're gonna, you're gonna be smart about this. Put a mask on. Like seriously, because if he finds out you're Terry Gordy, he's gonna go back, look at the tapes, find your weaknesses. He's gonna take you down. Put a fucking mask on. And he's like, what are you gonna call me? Hitman? He's like, nah, Bret Hart will get all shitty about that. I'll tell you what. There's a fucking jobber from like '85 who lost to Tito fucking Santana. Turned out that was actually Buddy Rose, that fat fuck. You know what? We'll present him. Executioner. You're the Executioner now.
And Undertaker will research him.
Yeah, exactly. He'll be like, well, shit. Figure 4 made him tap out in the WrestleMania 1. That's what we'll do. And you won't be that guy. So it works. So anyways, that was how I'm making the Executioner angle work here.
Good job.
Time to get to it. I think last week you did the first review, so I'll go ahead and review this one.
Go ahead.
Yeah, fucking loved it. I really did. I thought it was really great. I think the finale was perfect. It added to. There's little small things, but honestly, it's like I'm not gonna nitpick the fact that it took forever to bury Taker alive because once again, who would have thought that? If I'm in that room with Cornette and Pritchard, I'd be like, no. In the movie, it takes like 30 seconds. I'm sure these are big wrestlers with a big shovel. 5 minutes. They won't take that long at all.
And then immediately. Damn, you broke one of the shovels.
Oh, God, we needed that one shovel.
Damn.
So,
we got any more goddamn shovels back here?
Give a snow shovel. Fuck, I don't give a fuck. Do something. Because in Indianapolis, October, I'm not gonna lie, it does snow here sometimes. So, it's not outside the realm of impossibility to have a snow shovel handy there. So, anyways, I really dug it. I like the story, the progression of the story. Once again, this felt like this match should have been on the Big Four. It just felt like this really should have been a Survivor Series thing, and I'll get to that next week when we talk about Survivor Series. But no, I really dug it. I'm gonna give it a high 3 stars. 3 stars for me. So once again, and for better or for worse, and I'm gonna leave it at that for right now. I like the inclusion of the Executioner here. I like this new dark character, even though we'll know it ain't gonna last long. I do like this new rogue in the villains gallery that is Taker's enemies. Once again, Goldust. For better or for worse, it's like, yeah, he was a formidable opponent. Matches weren't that great, but it's like he's a fucking gold bright whatever. It's like when you look at the dark forces that are taking him down. It's like this gold guy. It's like no, Mankind looks creepy as hell. He has his Hannibal Lecter type mask on, and he's over in the corner doing this shit, pulling his hair out, squealing like a pig. It's like that guy's disturbing. Goldust is disturbing, but in a different way. So, the fact that he had this dark masked man with
That reminds me real quick.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about Foley's pig squeals.
Oh yeah, I love it. I fucking love it. Oh man, great stuff. So, anyways, yeah, I love it. 3 stars. What do you think? What was your?
It was a 4-star match for me.
Fair enough.
Dude, like it was great. It was great, and this is something that really because I try not to. I know you do sometimes, but like I actually did go back to 14-year-old Simon, or 4 days away from it, but you know, I didn't even get to go there. And it's like, dude, this at my age now still felt like I still had that, like, dude, this is really cool.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Because now sometimes we'll do some gimmick matches, and it's like, oh, as a kid I loved it, but like now, like not so much.
Yeah.
And I usually try to rate from now than what I felt back then, or at least try to maybe a little bit.
Yeah, put it in the middle maybe.
But definitely more towards the, you know, nowadays feelings. But this match had it all. Like, I mean, was it a good match? I don't know, man. That's up for debate because yes, it was a hardcore match.
Yeah.
But it was a good hardcore match.
I was like, yeah, no, I mean,
you know,
in that realm, it's great. I'm not expecting hip tosses and, you know, arm bars. Like, no, as far as a brawl, a down and dirty brawl, you're believing.
Yes.
Just as far as the story, like I said, the Goldust match from last week was lacking all kinds of heat. This had all the heat in the world and then some. Like, they were like, no, you believe these guys have been feuding for months. The fact that this has turned deadly, the fact that Taker's trying to avenge his losses and his betrayed manager or the manager that screwed him over, you buy it. So, no, I would say, as far as that goes, no, very believable, and it made a great match.
It would have been 5.
Yeah.
That good. But, you know, I unfortunately will nitpick and say, okay, that burial was, it kind of, because it's like, the crowd's going crazy, and I'm still like, you know, I mean, but you know, now knowing what happens, it's still, you know, it's like, because that's why I told you, I was like, when they started that, they kind of was going, and then they're going to fill that whole goddamn hole up, aren't they?
But to be fair, the match is already over, so we're just reviewing the match technically. So I'm just saying,
But part of my grade,
the overall package. You've always done that.
Everything that goes with it, the end with the hand and everything, like it was awesome. And I'm not going to spoil it, but you know, for the Undertaker, what led to the next time, you know, like it all just worked out so perfectly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, it really was.
So yeah, 4 stars, and
he gives it a perfect score. I gave it a
wait. Is 4 our top?
4's the top score.
Well, then fine. It's a 4 star. I don't care. I'm not.
We're not Meltzer. We go 4 on this show. It's 0 to 4 is the rating. And full stars. We don't do these half star shit.
So screw it. I'm not nitpicking. Then the area was fine. I'm still saying 4 stars.
So we're at 3.5 then, and that's still, we've yet to do a perfect 4 on the show. So this is 3.5. This is still in our highest rated matches, which I'm happy with that. Absolutely, definitely belongs up there. So yeah, there it is. Now once again, as far as the fallout goes, next month. I mean, just keep going into the next one. Like there's no other things here. So yeah, we'll just come back next month on that one. So or next week on this one. So anything you just want to add on this before we head out?
Okay.
Well, guys, that's all we got this week. Another great match in the thing. Come back next week as we talk about Survivor Series 1996. I'm Daniel.
I'm Simon.
We'll catch you next time. Oh, shit. Didn't always run, sorry. Hi. Thank you for watching that video. Be sure to give us a thumbs up, share it, subscribe to our channel. All that good stuff you do right here on YouTube, go ahead and do it. Check out our other videos. Go to our playlist. We got episodes of TPS TV, Journey Through the Darkside. We got a new show coming out, the horror movie review with Daniel Richardson. And of course, our short film, Entropy. You can find all that and more right here on YouTube. And then check out, yeah, look at that. All of our social media right there. And we don't just, copy and paste like the same post and put it on all. No, that's ridiculous. 3 different platforms, 3 different posts. I mean, the behind the scenes stuff you see on Twitter will not be the same stuff you see on Instagram. So there you go, right there. So be sure to give us a follow and a like on all that right there. Keep up to date. Have you seen Unspeakable Acts yet? No? Come on. Pick you up the DVD right now. Links over there. Oh, yeah. It's only $7. $3 shipping and handling. And of course, if you've already seen it and you haven't seen the Public Domain Dungeon yet, boom, $5 DVD right there. So 5 S&P as well. Or sorry, 3 S&P. as well. So there you go. Do that. And if you got the spare change, you want to hit us up, donate a little bit over here to TPS Productions. Our Patreon is right there. Oh, yeah. So that's all we... Oh, my God. Sorry. I'm getting fired, ain't I? Guys, that's all we got. Thank you for watching.